My name is Annie Frances Collier Davis.
Are you a male or female?
Female.
Oh, really? What is your address?
807 West River Drive, Richmond, Virginia, 23229.
What state were you born in?
North Carolina.
What city?
Well, I was actually born in Wilson County, which is near Wilson, North Carolina.
And were you born in a hospital?
No.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 62 and 3/4.
What is your birthday?
September 18th, 1931.
What are your parents' names?
My father's name was William Herman Collier. My mother's name was Lissy Thomas Bass Collier.
All right. Do you speak any foreign languages?
Mm-mm.
What is your... Oh, never mind. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
And are you nearsighted or farsighted?
Farsighted.
What is your weight, your height, and your color, your eye color?
My height is 5'3", 5 feet 3 inches.
Answer it as you want to.
My weight is around 128, and my eye color is brown.
Do you wear corrective lenses?
No, I wear reading glasses.
Are you married, divorced,
Or is that, excuse me, is that considered corrective lenses?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess
Okay.
not. Just when
I
you-
do wear reading glasses.
Are you married, divorced, or widowed?
I'm married.
Okay. What is your maiden name?
Collier.
What is your... No. What is your anniversary date?
March 15th, 1952.
And how many years have you been married?
Oh, let's see. 42.
How many children do you have?
3.
And how many grandkids?
3.
What are their names?
Eric James Davis, Christy Elizabeth Davis, and Cameron Courtney Davis.
How old are they?
Eric is 15. Christy is 11, and Cameron is almost 3. She'll be 3 July 22nd, and today is July 10th.
What is your religion?
Baptist.
Do you live in the suburbs or the city?
Suburbs.
Do you have any pets?
No, not at the moment. Just lots of squirrels.
Yeah.
But Pappy's thinking about getting a fish tank.
All right. Try something from there.
Which president did you admire most in your lifetime?
Probably Franklin Delano Roosevelt, because I heard my parents talk about him so much. And he was a person who they admired, although I was too young to know too much about presidents then. I was probably 10, 12, something like that. I mean, I didn't pay too much attention to who was president then, but I know that he did a lot of good things for people, and so my parents admired him so much. So that's the one I think of mostly when I think of a truly good president.
Where do you go to vote?
To Mayberry School.
Is it an elementary school?
Elementary. Mm-hmm.
You can skip around if you want to.
I know, I am.
You don't have to use that chapter.
Okay, did you have to share a room, or did you have your own?
Oh, I had to share a room. I had 2 sisters and a brother, and my grandfather lived with us, and sometimes I had an aunt or an uncle who lived with us, so I always shared a room.
What Ed Sullivan show do you remember the most?
Well, it's been a long time ago, but I remember Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis a lot, but I think the one I remember the most, or the two I remember the most, were the Beatles and Elvis Presley.
How much TV do you watch?
Let's see, probably too much, but in hours, maybe.
Including the O.J. Simpson.
Well, on regular days, probably at least 3 or 4 hours.
Okay. What is your favorite book?
Let's see, my favorite book. Well, I guess all of our favorite book, everybody's favorite book probably, or should be, is the Bible, I suppose. So then after that, when I was a little girl, I liked to read Heidi. Since I've grown up, I guess, let's see. Gosh, that's hard to say. I have read some of, recently I've read some of Thoreau. I read some about some of his book on Walden's Pond. I've read a lot of cookbooks, and because Pappy's supposed to be on a low-fat diet, so I've read a lot of cookbooks and lots of things on health issues for the last year or two. But my favorite book, maybe I can come back to that.
Okay. What is your favorite Walt Disney film?
Probably Bambi.
Do you ever watch soap operas?
Not now. I used to a long time ago, but I don't watch them anymore.
Do you have a favorite talk show host?
Used to be Johnny Carson, but gosh, I don't watch the afternoon ones very often, but maybe we do watch Larry King, so I guess I'll say Larry King.
What radio stations do you listen to?
Let's see. Sometimes Pappy has it on at Q94. I don't listen to the radio a lot, but Q94. And let's see, we listen to WRVA a lot, okay. Of course.
What is your favorite movie? Or do you have one?
Let's see, my favorite movie was probably, I liked A Place in the Sun. Let's see. Gosh, it's hard for me to think right off the bat because I have a lot of favorite movies.
What's your favorite movie star?
Well, let's see, I like Gregory Peck. And Doris Day. Let's see, Myrna Loy, I used to like her a lot. Well, there are just so many today. I guess I like people like Tom Hanks, and I'm looking forward to seeing his new movie, Forrest Gump. And let's see, there are just so many that they're not as memorable as the ones from back in the 1940s and 50s. So,
Okay. What is your best friend in your neighborhood?
When you were growing up.
excuse me.
When you were growing up,
When I
who
was
was your
growing
best friend in your neighborhood?
In my neighborhood, probably, Edith Junt was my best friend, so I'll say that she was not in my very close neighborhood, but she was. I used to walk to see her anyway.
Did you play at your homes or mostly in the streets? Or the playgrounds?
Mostly at homes.
Okay. What do you remember most about your friend's house?
Well, it was a two-story house, and it had a lot of shade. It had a lot of trees, and she had a piano. And so I used to try to learn to. I like to learn to try and learn to play the piano, but I never did learn. And she had a mother and father and a sister who lived at her house, and that's about all I guess that I can think of.
Was there a neighborhood bully?
I don't remember. Oh, well, when I was a little girl, there was. And he used to hit me all the time and scratch me and pinch me. And I wouldn't tell anybody because I didn't want them to think I was silly. And because the boy was pinching me and that I couldn't do anything about it. And so his name was Bobby Waddell.
Okay.
And I just disliked him so much when I was little.
Did you have a nickname when you were little?
Pant. P-A-N-T, but why, I don't know.
Okay. What sidewalk games did you play?
Hopscotch.
Okay. Did you play jump rope?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember any rhymes?
I don't think I do for.
Okay. Do you collect anything now?
No, just dust on things usually. No, I don't collect anything now.
Did you when you were little?
Well, I used to like to collect bugs and things like that, fireflies or lightning bugs in the summertime, and put them in jars and see them light up. But as for things that you kept for a long time, I can't remember anything. I'm not really a collector.
Did you have any pets when you were little?
I had a dog, and his name was Bruiser. B-R-U-I-S-E-R, Bruiser. I don't know where he got that name. And so I lived in the country, so we had lots of pets like cows and pigs, and we didn't have horses, but we had mules, and all kinds of animals, and chickens and ducks and things like that.
Do you remember having chickenpox, mumps, or any other kind of childhood diseases?
I don't, but I had all those when I was too young to remember.
Okay. Did you ever have a flood, tornado, or a big storm where you lived?
Mm-hmm. We had a tornado named Hazel. I think it was about 1954.
Hurricane.
Oh, excuse me. It was a hurricane, right? A hurricane. And we were in Wilson, North Carolina. I mean, well, actually, we were in Rocky Mount, which is about 18 miles from Wilson. And your daddy was a baby, and we were at my sister's house, and it was the worst hurricane I've ever seen. It really, there was a pillar in front of the house on the porch, and it just kind of moved that over. The wind was so strong, and so it was a scary time. And let's see, a flood. We had a flood in 1972 after we moved to Richmond, and we couldn't drink the water because there was so much I think it was contaminated and we couldn't drink that, and we then had a lot of algae in it, as I remember. And so those are the only two that I really remember, though, of being bad enough to speak of.
Did anyone in your neighborhood have a fancy garden, a horse, or a gazebo?
Growing up. That's a child? That's still childhood? Yeah.
You said a fancy garden? No gazebos, and well, people had horses around us. But fancy gardens, everybody had vegetable gardens, but and flower gardens, but I don't think you'd call them fancy.
Did you have a favorite tree you liked to climb?
Well, we had a lot of pecan trees and a lot of apple trees, and so apple trees were better for climbing, so, and cherry trees. We used to climb those.
What were your favorite board games when you were little?
Probably Chinese checkers.
Oh, you want to ask them?
How long does this interview go on?
It's almost over. Oh, let's see. Christy, did you just get tired of what? Oh, I forgot where it was. Okay. Well, do you have any questions you want to ask? Tell me about the house you grew up in.
Let's see. Well, really, I lived in two houses while I was growing up. I lived in until I was 4 years old. Well, actually, I was born at my grandfather's house. Then we moved to another house for a short time. Then we moved to the near Wilson, where I remember mostly. And it was a white frame house, one story, and it had a breezeway between the house and the kitchen. And let's see, we had probably 3 or 4 bedrooms, a porch that was an L-shaped porch. Let's see, since we did live in the country, we had lots of fruit trees and things. Well, you were asking about the house, so. And we did not have central heat. We had heaters in each room and fireplaces. And and I really can remember when we got our first refrigerator, and when we got our first, we did have a wood stove, and I can remember when we got our first, I think it was a gas stove, or an oil stove, I think, an oil stove. And we used to have lamps. If the lights went out, we had lamps. And that's about it, I think.
Oh. Okay. Do you ever babysit for your grandchildren?
Occasionally.
Let's see. How does family life differ for your grandchildren from the way family life was for you when you were a child?
Well, I only had one grandfather and one grandmother that I remember. And my grandfather lived with us, so I saw him a lot. But my other grandmother, on my father's side, lived in another town, so I didn't see her as often as I get to see our grandchildren, so we figured we were very lucky in that way. Let's see. And since I didn't know but one grandfather and one grandmother, then I always felt that I was not as fortunate as some people, but then I was more fortunate than our 3 children because they didn't know their mothers and grandfathers at all. So,
Mhm.
so we feel very fortunate to have Eric, Christy, and Cameron live so close to us.
Anything you want to add?
I don't think so. I think that's enough.